Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here. Friday the 2nd of July 2021, and the garage is a bit bare except for the Lonely Bandit because it's time to go over to the Stafford show, and all the grey framers, the Power Set, are lined up in the van. So let's go and have a quick look before we shoot off over to the showground, which is about an hour and a half away from here. So I'm aiming to leave at 9:30 this morning. I'll get there just after 11. Gates open at 11 for trade and exhibitors today for setup. So I'm going to get there pretty much early, leave me plenty of time to set the stand up. And there we are, all wedged in. Looks a bit untidy, but believe you me, they're well strapped down and wedged together, so they're not moving anywhere. And in fact, I probably did have space, more than enough space, to get the Bandit in, but I just don't have space on the stand, unfortunately. But it's been there before, and it's won prizes, so we can't complain. Right, another cup of tea, and we'll be on our way. And I'll bring you back once we arrive. Okay, everyone. Early afternoon, 20 past 1ish, here at Stafford. Lovely day at the moment. There's the halls in the background there. I'm over in the camping area. So there's the old van. No quips about the senior, please. And there's my tent next to it. So we're just setting up the stand now. I'll bring you back once I get it a bit more shape. There's a bit of work to do getting the 4 bikes down there, but anyway, it's good exercise. So this is the main hall when I arrived. Pretty empty at about midday-ish. But anyway, plenty of activity and things were happening, and I then began to set my stall up towards the back of the hall on the right-hand side, underneath the balcony. And here's a pic of the completed stand about 2.5, 3 hours later. I've set it up as planned, as per the sort of stand plan I did, which you saw in the last video, and I was pretty pleased with that. And what you can't see behind the table there is a few small spotlights on the floor, and you can just see how they've illuminated the Furies at the back pretty well. So all in all, pretty pleased with the setup. The old Union Jacks I inherited from a very patriotic aunt, and they do come in handy more regularly than you would think, but they sort of filled a hole at the back of the wall really well, actually, between the two banners. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with that from the point of view of this being a first attempt at having all the bikes together on one stand. We were very busy on the stand on both days, but at one point one visitor was kind enough to take a photo of myself and my son Alistair, who came up on the Saturday to help me. Resplendent in the t-shirts, and also in this case we'd also laid out some of the original brochures, etc., on the table, which was the idea really, so we could actually try and link into why we named this the Power Set and the Power, and to link it all together, and that worked very well. So a quick thanks to Alistair for coming up and helping me out, and also you may have seen his name at the in the intros to my videos, as he did help with the sort of layout of that with some of the suggestions, and also he's promoted my channel on Reddit, which I don't regularly use, which he does as well. So yeah, thanks to him for his help during the weekend. This photo just gives you a feel for how busy it was for most of the weekend. I designed the stand in such a way where the table was at the front, but it allowed people to walk into the stand and get close up to the bikes, rather than just being able to view them from the front, and that worked very well. But yeah, we regularly had half a dozen people on the stand, and we were on our feet and talking to people for most of the 2 days. So it was nice to get all the interest based upon the fact that it was a slimmed down show, but also, based upon being effectively repaid for the effort that we put in. So although it was very tiring by the end of it, it was very rewarding. Here's a couple of stills that Alistair took of the Furies. I quite like this one with the power just sneaking in at the back there and the light on the Fury SS. And then on this one, this is the view that you will see in the background when I give a bit of a synopsis to the classic motorcycle channel clip um, that was run on the Sunday. The Classic Motorcycle channel approached me on the Saturday and asked me if I'd do a clip for them, participate in a clip for them, just with a little bit of background to my interest in the Power Set, and also a brief synopsis of my bikes and how I came to own them, and the sort of order of sequence of developing the collection. And the way that they produced this was to effectively to be interviewed by John, stood in front of the show Fury and the Karen Young publicity pic in the background, which we could then pull into the description. Here's a quick screenshot of the Classic Motorcycle Channel homepage, and as I say, I'll be keeping an eye out for when they publish the video covering the whole of the show, to give you an insight of the wider perspective of the show rather than just my view of it as well. And I say I should be I should be part of that content, hopefully. And John did say that they might be interested in doing a much more in-depth piece of my collection of the Power Set and my association and interest in that over the last 45 years or so, because it was quite difficult to condense, a quick synopsis into I think 1.5 minutes, but we managed to do that. So anyway, yeah, keep your eye out, and if I hear anything else, I'll let you know. But still very interesting. Their content seems to be very interesting, and another arrow in the quiver, if you like, with respect to something to interview in the future. On the Saturday, the head judge, Dennis, I can't remember his surname, so forgive me, Dennis, came and had a chat and stated that he thought, as I wasn't effectively a trade and selling anything, that my motorcycle display should have been towards the front of the hall rather than at the back. But anyway, I wasn't complaining about that. But he took an interest in the bikes and wanted to include them in the considerations for judging. And lo and behold, he awarded the A70 an award, third place in the classic category. So if that was a nice ending to sort of round off the weekend, and I don't know, in some ways sort of to a certain extent justified quite a bit of effort that I put into the A70L, but obviously it didn't take anywhere near as long to build stroke restore as the Fury SS did. But anyway, I didn't go for awards. I went to really promote the BSA Power Set and try and present that and describe the circumstances around that to interested parties, and that certainly worked. As an exhibitor and staying overnight, then obviously we did get a chance to walk around the hall before it closed at about 7 o'clock in the evening, and then afterwards in the around the stalls in the outside of the halls. And I just had to take a photo of this, because this is a Honda CD175A, probably around about 1969. This, as you can probably see, has got a spine frame, so it's quite an early revision of the old CD175, single carb 175, single overhead cam. And the reason why I had to take a pic of that is because that was a bike, the model that I passed my motorcycle test on in 1975 when I was 17, and that type of bike, got me on the road, and also took me all over the country on rides. Really, on a holiday that year with some friends, and at the time, I wasn't a great mechanic, but it just kept going. I didn't even know what tappets were, so they never got checked. But I did know what oil was, and I did have to do a slight restoration of the bike, which I managed to purchase with the money that I got from working on a full time over a Christmas period as a forecourt attendant at the petrol station. And so that bike got me on the road. And 3 months after I took my test, I bought a 1968 BSA Lightning 650, and that started my foray into British bikes on the road and interest in BSAs, and ultimately with the BSA Owners Club and seeing the first grey frame BSA when I was at university. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed the 650 Lightning because I used to ride to school as a sixth former on that bike, and yeah, got plenty of interest from the girls on that, so that did more than a good job. So there we are, a quick synopsis of the show from my perspective. As I say, I didn't get anywhere near as much content as I wanted. We were just too busy, which was good. But anyway, the time passed all too quickly, and before you knew it, it was time to break down. Right, everyone, end of the show. Bike's all out the hall, ready to put into the van, but it's rained a bit. So there you go, they've been weathered upon. I always think they look quite good with sort of water on them, but still sort of clean. Anyway, yep, there's the signs, the last thing out the hall. And got to get them into there now, but it's got tail lift. And we'll make our way home. So I haven't got as much content as I would have wanted throughout the show. Got some photos that you've seen. But I've just been that busy, actually. Lots of interest, lots of people introduced themselves. Met some interesting characters. So all been good, and we'll think about what to do with the next show. In the meantime, just leave me to it. Got to get these babies on board and mosey on home. Okay, all back in the garage, lined up. Looks like a blooming motorcycle sales showroom, doesn't it? All lined up, back with the Bandit. Got home about 8:15, not too bad really, and got this lot in and everything unloaded from the van in a couple of hours or so. So all good, and no damage on the bikes either, so all's gone well. So as you can see, I've got a bit of tidying up in here to do before we get on to thoughts about the next video, which as I've been telling everybody on the stand at Stafford at the weekend, that it'll be between the first start on the Fury SS and getting some more miles on the Lightning, because we haven't really tested that since we sorted out the timing and the head gasket. So had plenty of run in the garage, but not on the road, so we need to do that. But all's good. So on that note, we'll just wrap this this one up here. As I might have said earlier, I didn't take anywhere near as much content as I intended at Stafford because I was just too busy. There was lots of interest, lots of people coming over to say hello, lots of you subscribers out there, so thanks to those that came up and introduced themselves. It's always nice to put a face to either a name or a YouTube handle. But hopefully this just gives a snippet of what went on, and I was just pleasantly surprised at how busy the show was, on, bearing in mind it was really a slimmed down version, but no doubt they'll be back to full scale in October. So yeah, thanks to everybody that visited the stand, and thanks also to everyone for viewing this and for your interest, any comments and any subscriptions. So that's it for now. See you all again soon. Thanks again, and
Wish you all well. Cheers.